Motherfucking magic time.
And I shout, "Everybody at home, go and get your spoons!"
This is a billet stand. It's very easy to make and it will help you switch in and out. It's got a hole in it. It's just a block of wood with a drilled hole in it, and it's got a bent piece of wire that looks like this. I've sprayed it with heat resistant paint because sometimes I like to burn the dummy billets to get rid of the evidence. And all you do is get a paper clip and you hang the billet on the billet stand like this. Very useful for when you're switching in and out. And it looks pretty good too. And even when you burn the billet, it looks quite good, and no one has a chance of burning themselves or seeing what's written on it. This is the paperclip switch. This is the billet you want to switch in and out. It's important that you're able to rotate it slightly like that, almost like a book, with your thumb. You grab the billet with these two fingers, the index and middle finger, off the stand, and you grip the dummy, or the one you're switching in, with the other two fingers as you pretend to pull the paperclip off. Let's go through those moves again. You're gripping the billet you're switching in like this with that action, and then you grab the billet on the stand with these two fingers, don't forget. You grab it off the stand and you grab it with the thumb and forefinger, the one you're switching in, and you pretend to pull the paperclip off, being careful not to flash through your fingers, and then you can put that billet away and it's gone. This is a way you can use the basic billet switch in conjunction with the billet stand. You do the basic switch by holding in the original billet, and as you gesticulate, you switch the billet in order to put the paperclip on the dummy and hang it up for either burning or switching out again later. The beauty of the stand is you can switch in and out. The psychology of mentalism is extremely important, and mentalists understand this better than the magicians do. And the reason for this is because there are no moves in mentalism, only subtleties. All the moves in mentalism are done on the offbeat, and all the focus is on the presentation and not the skill of the performer. Most magicians hate performers who present what they do as real magic, but I feel there's no other way to present mentalism. In my opinion, if you say this is a trick, it cheapens and ruins the effect. If you could really read minds, you won't look skilled because it's either something you can or can't do. If you are directly asked if it's real power, just respond with something like, "What do you think?" You don't have to tell a bold-faced lie, and at the same time you still leave something up to the imagination. This is the reason why, when I perform mentalism and metal bending, I never do any card and coin routines. This will only water down the mentalism I perform, because a spectator should not immediately think you are cheating when you perform mentalism. And this is always the case when you perform sleight of hand. It's called a magic trick and a mentalism effect. They all know magic isn't real unless you are performing for really primitive people, which I doubt will be in a restaurant or function where you are performing anyway. Now, I know most people aren't stupid and know mentalism isn't real, but actors in a movie don't look at the camera and say, "I'm not really doing this," between the movie scenes. Bad actors perform like they're acting, and bad mentalists perform like they're deceiving you. Think about it. 99% of mentalism is secretly gaining information that has been recorded somewhere. It's not a difficult thing for a spectator to figure out on their own. So how you present it will disguise the method, and not the cleverness of the subtlety. This brings me to the first psychological lesson in working with billets. Never call a billet a billet. This is a bit of a no-shit Sherlock statement for some guys, but you shouldn't even call it a piece of paper or a card. This doesn't sound important, but it is. The billet is not the important thing, and the focus should be taken off of it. So instead of saying, "Write it on a piece of paper," you say, "Write it on this," or "Write it on that." Trust me, subconsciously, this is vital. If the spectators believe the billet is important, the first thing they will ask is why, and then your presentation will start to unravel. The second thing is how you convey the information once you know it. You shouldn't just regurgitate it exactly how it's written straight back to them like a parrot, but try and get as many hits as possible. A hit to a psychic, a medium, or a mentalist is any time you can make a statement and get the spectator to say yes. I'll give you an example. If you've told them to think of a friend of theirs from school, there are a lot of things you can glean from just using logic. If you ask a man, chances are that their friend from school was male, and vice versa. But just in case it isn't, you word it this way. You are not thinking of a male person, are you? If they say yes, you say, I thought it was. If they say no, you say, I thought it wasn't, and you're covered either way. That's hit one. Then you can close your eyes and say, you used to have a photo of this person, but you don't anymore. This is the case for most people today, but in the very off chance they say no, then you say, then they must have a picture of you because I'm definitely seeing a photo somewhere. That's hit two. You were close to the person at the time, right? They will say, yes. It sounds obvious, but that's hit three. You're not still friends with them today, right? If they say no, you say, I thought so. If they say yes, you say, I had the feeling you were, and that's hit four. Now you reveal the name starting with letters. There's an A in the name, isn't there? Yes, and that's hit five. Now you've already had 5 hits before revealing the main piece of information. Revealing the name is hit 6. Think about it, 6 things the spectators think you saw in your mind's eye that wasn't even written down or discussed in the first place. This is psychologically extremely important. On a final note, if you're writing down the name of a person and it's an unusual one, then misspell it intentionally. It adds a level of plausibility because we see pictures in our mind and not words. Obviously, this wouldn't work for a name like James or Frank, but then only a moron would misspell that anyway. Same thing for drawing duplications. Change the picture slightly by adding or taking away parts. Getting things exactly right, counterintuitively, makes it seem less plausible. I hope you find this information useful. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share.